slew of other issues. But Mr. Chairman, let's do something. Let's stop the political theater. Our country deserves better. With that, I yield.
Will the gentleman yield so we can answer his question?
No, I yield.
So the answer is yes. We are engaged in an impeachment investigation. And in addition to that, we have moved aggressive on the For the People agenda. It's about driving down healthcare costs, driving down the cost of prescription drugs, rebuilding the infrastructure of America, and taking on the corruption here in
Regular order.
Regular order.
Gentleman was not recognized.
Gentleman from Pennsylvania has the time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I do thank and I mean this with sincerity, I thank my friend and colleague from Rhode Island. Thank you. And with that, I yield to my friend and colleague from Virginia.
Mr. Chairman, I also want to thank the gentleman from Rhode Island for admitting what we all know is happening. This committee is trying to have impeachment without actually putting a resolution before the people, before this House. I want to thank Mr. Buck for his amendment, revealing what a farce this process is, this resolution, which is, again, amateur hour when it comes to legal drafting. I have great respect for the chairman. I have great respect for members of this committee. They are accomplished attorneys. This committee should remember that words mean something, and what we are just revealing in this one amendment is just how these words are not legally accurate. We want this resolution, any product of this committee, to be legally accurate. Let's be better. Let's do better. Or do my colleagues on the other side actually recognize that, in fact, as I question the special counsel, his interpretation of the obstruction statutes was incorrect and is not a normal and reasoned understanding of our obstruction statutes? So if they want to vote to reject that this is, in fact, obstruction as alleged, let them go ahead. But I appreciate the gentleman from Rhode Island's admission that this is, in fact, an impeachment process.
The gentleman yield back?
I yield to Mr. Buck.
I thank the gentleman for yielding. I saw the gentleman from Rhode Island leave. I didn't know if you were putting time out because nobody on the Democrat side has voiced any answers to us, and I appreciate the gentleman's answer, and I yield back.
The gentleman yielded back. The gentlelady from Pennsylvania, for what purposes she
the gentlemen are, sorry, I moved to strike the last word.
Gentlelady's recognized.
You know, the gentleman from Rhode Island got before me, but I too would answer, yes, we are in an impeachment investigation. Have you not been reading the proceedings? I don't think there's a question. It's an investigation.
Does the gentlelady yield back? The question occurs on the gentleman. For what purpose? The gentleman from Texas seek recognition.
Strike the last word.
Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you. Now that it's been publicly admitted that this is an impeachment investigation, and these amendments are even more critical because words do matter. And this would be litigated, and going back to my days as a Chief Justice, where we really had to dig on individual words. What does this word mean? And for whatever reason, the majority in this impeachment investigation chose to use twice the word thwart. And I could see this going up if this were a successful impeachment and removal from office. Clearly it would go up to the highest court, and they would be stuck with the question of the president being a thwarter.